UNESCO and the Globe International Center of Mongolia co-hosted the discussion on law on media freedom of Mongolia at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Mongolia on March 27, 2025. In his opening remarks, UN Resident Coordinator in Mongolia, Hop van Heerden, noted, Mongolia has built a strong reputation for its democratic values, and the 1998 Law on Media Freedom of Mongolia was a significant milestone in ensuring press independence and protecting freedom of expression. However, with rapid changes in the media landscape driven by digital transformation, social media, and involving economic and political pressures, there is an urgent need to adapt the legal framework to contemporary challenges. In this context, the Parliament of Mongolia has initiated a revision of the 1998 law to align it with international standards and best practices. The UN strongly believes that this new media law must safeguard journalistic independence, prevent undue restrictions and censorship, and ensure media pluralism and diversity. The government of Mongolia has submitted a revised draft law on media freedom to the State Great Khural of Mongolia. The initiators of the law requested UNESCO for assistance in drafting the law, particularly regarding the articles and provisions related to freedom of expression to ensure its alignment with international standards. In response, the Canadian-based Centre for Law and Democracy has been providing technical support for the draft law. At the discussion, the Centre presented its assessment of the revised draft law on media freedom, referencing international standards that guarantee freedom of expression and best practices from various countries.
Yes, so the law on freedom of the media, I think the intention of this law is very positive. So the content seeks to promote media freedom. There's one part of it, Article 5, which is restrictive to media freedom. I think that article should be removed. But my larger comment is that I would say that there are a lot of very general, rather vague statements in the law, which I think need to be much clearer and much more precise. If you want to have a legal support for media freedom, the rules need to be clear and they need to be practical and effective. Not kind of broad policy statements, but functional legal provisions. So I think that the law needs to be tightened up quite a bit.
The Ministry of Justice and Internal Affairs of Mongolia submitted the revised draft law on media freedom of Mongolia to the State Great Khural of Mongolia on January 24, 2025. As a researcher, I believe this draft law represents a relatively well-developed version. However, we cannot solely focus on the law on media freedom of Mongolia. The concept of media freedom is broad in scope. Currently, 932 laws are in effect in Mongolia, yet only 6 laws are being proposed for amendment alongside the law on media freedom of Mongolia, which is not enough. Therefore, we must not overlook the accompanying laws.
Furthermore, participants in the discussion on the law on media freedom of Mongolia emphasized that the main law should establish leading standards for media regulation, while more detailed provisions could be incorporated into other relevant legislation.